What is going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday to you, January 14th. I am here. Your Unk is back. Transfer portal conversations. We still have much more to discuss the next couple of days. Hey, listen, like the show, subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. We 100% appreciate that. And look, all I can tell you as relates to Money B, don't know what happened, but I can tell you this. Tyler, Cody, Money B is unblocked. I don't know what happened. I don't know. It must have been something accidental, unless he did something wrong on another show that I don't know about. But someone send the word out on the streets. Tell Money B he's unblocked. Come back to the show. You're here. All right. Now, speaking of blocked, we've got more conversation transfer portal conversation to be had. But I obviously talk a little bit about the offensive line and where things stand as relates to Nick Brooks. I thought Alex Dunlap is really, really cool. And I'm going to share this thing with you guys with the hopes that will be enticing enough. Just me sharing what Alex wrote and us freeing Money B should be enough for everybody to be happy, right? So, and for you to subscribe to orangebloods.com. But with the news of yesterday, and the news of yesterday, obviously, hold on, let me just retweet this out. But the news of yesterday, somebody get on Twitter, somebody tweet at Money B, let them know he's out of jail. So we don't know, I don't know what happened. Unk doesn't know what happened, but he's out of jail. Let them know Cody took care of it for him, all right? So let them know. And Nick Brooks is a guy who has announced that he's going into transfer portal. Now, I feel like there's always two distinctions that need to occur. There's the announcement of the transfer portal that a guy's going to go in, and there's the actuality of the guy going in, right? I think those are the two things. And for me, there's guys who are announced. And look, we've seen it as relates to Texas so far. Guys who quote unquote announced. We've even seen it to the portal, and then for them to decide, like, okay, I'm going to come back. A lot of this stuff here that we just got to make sure we have in mind and understand. For instance, I'm looking now. Derek Williams was a guy who went into the portal and he came out, right? He just said, like, I'm good. And then you have guys who announced that they're going in, and then and then things happen, like Zena, right? There was an announcement that Zena was going to go into the portal, and then Zena actually never went into the portal. He actually never entered his name. So when I hear the Nick Brooks conversation and I hear about Nick Brooks, I go to, okay, that's phase one. It's phase one. Phase one is you've announced that you're going to go in. Now, that could be in an effort to get UT to match your asking price. That could be as negotiating power for other folks to get in on you, right? And welcome back, Money B. Hey, look, Money B is back. We don't know. Hey, again, Money B, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, but I can tell you that you should love Cody Carpentier for the rest of your life, because Cody found out within you were unblocked. Okay, so you owe Cody, and when you see their show, next time you see Cody live, give them a super chat. Okay, hook them up. So there's that. So there's the first phase, which is the announcement. And then there's a second to go in. Like, for instance, Christian Clark is a guy that I had told you guys put on your radar a couple of weeks ago as a guy who could potentially go into the portal. And so much stuff had happened. And then eventually Christian Clark does go in. You're like, oh, man, I forgot. But, yes, Christian Clark goes in. So we got this thing with Nick Brooks. And it's kind of it's as simplistic as this, y'all. It's simplistic as... Man, and I'm gonna post something like this on Orange Bloods this morning. Dog, these are all money decisions right now, man. It's a hard job, and I want to pose this to you. Cody's out here as well. All you guys are here. I'll pose this to you like this. You are Steve Sarkisian or you're Brandon Harris, right? Herb Hand wouldn't necessarily have a say-so in this. And Nick Brooks comes to you. Money B, Tex Blonde, Cody. You can go down the list. Rodolfo, all you guys. My man Dale Coleman, Mike Torres. All you guys who are here in the chat, very active, right? Taj is in here as well. Just another fragrance reviewer. I'm just going through it. They go through, they come to you and they say to you, hey, Nick Brooks deserves a raise. And they coming to you and saying Nick deserves a raise. What are you going to do? Because we got some other programs out here that are looking at him. What you going to give us? He's making six figures at this moment. We want an additional 200,000-300,000, whatever the case may be, right? I don't have the specific numbers. What's your response? What's your response to that? Do you based off of what you saw in 2025, no fault of his own, young guy thrown into the fire. Yes, Cody, raise more money. Yes, more money was it. He wasn't pushed out. It was nothing that anything as relates to the transfer portal activity didn't happen, and as relates to Jordan Seaton. It's literally them coming to you and saying, we want more money. What do you do? And can you reward a guy who can you reward a guy who, to no fault of his young guy, still growing, still developing. I've never been mad at Nick Brooks. Never been mad at Nick Brooks for how he played. He's young. He's a freshman on the offensive line. That thing's going to happen. But then to then turn around and they have to basically say, all right, man, you need to put your ass on the bench because this is not a good thing. And then the transfer portal opens and your people start shopping you around. And then you take that offer back to Texas this is my offer back to Texas. This is my, little Aloft card, right? Cody always knows where I'm at because by the pillows. What do you do? And this has been kind of the problem / the challenge that Texas has had in this transfer portal season, right? It's been, you've had agents of guys who are basically, and anybody can be an agent, so we're clear. You guys can be agents. Cody can be an agent. Tex Blonde can be an agent. Money B can be an agent when he's not banned, apparently. Chris Bennett can be an agent. Literally, all you got to do is connect with someone and then say, hey, man, I'll help you to do such and such. And now you don't have to go through any kind of agency. Like, literally, you're like, this is what I want to do in life. This is what I want to do, right? We could all open up our own agencies, right, to represent guys and NIL deals and all this kind of stuff, right? It's been the challenge of what Texas has faced this portal season, right? Because what do you do when a guy like, and I'm not trying to bury him, right? But if a guy like Parker Livingston is getting offered $800,000 by Oklahoma, and for you, he's probably your third guy when everyone's healthy, maybe your fourth option, right? And OU's offer him $800,000. What do you do? What do you do? Because this is the interesting Quintravion Wisener. If they're offering about, they're saying we want about $1 million. What do you do? What do you do? Some people, you just, man, look, I ain't mad at you. If you can get it, so be it. But we ain't paying that. Right? We all have our thing, right? You've gone house hunting and stuff, right? You've gone house hunting, right? This is kind of the same thing, right? We've all gone house hunting before, and we've all have seen the seller who their asking price is more than what you're willing to pay. And you're like, look, I really like this house. It looks really cool. It's amazing, but I'm not gonna pay that. Or I can't believe you're asking me for this house when it's a fixer upper. And you feel like you're going to ask me that, right? We've all been in it. I'm just using that as a real life example, right? And so it's kind of like that, where you have to make these real time, in game, real life decisions. And if you're Texas, you say to yourself, okay, we need some depth here at the offensive line. Like this is not a good place. We're trying to add bodies. We need bodies, right? But this is almost the one that you can't even put on Kyle Flood. Like, because listen, we all been wondering, hey, Coach Flood, you good? What's going on over there, Coach Flood? What's going on, Coach? Do you need a new deodorant over there, Coach Flood? Is your body odor scaring off people in the room, Coach? I don't know. You got coffee breath, Coach? What's going on, Coach? And everybody's like, I have to smell Coach Flood's coffee breath one more day. I'll be the hell out of here. What? Because we all been like, what's going on in the offensive line, right? We've all been wondering about that, right? But even in this instance, in this circumstance, right? I can't even put that on Flood. I got to put this on. This is one of those, you got to chalk it up to the game. And chalk it up to the game of, hey man, this is what's going on in today's world of college football, where guys are literally just somebody could send this over to Coach Flood and be like, mother effer. I don't even know that. I don't think that's how Coach Flood. I don't think he has a Southern drawl. He's got like more of a New York kind of thing, a little bit going with him. But this is where we're at right now, guys. Look at this. Look at this list. I feel bad for poor Tyler. I don't know what font he's going to put this in to fit this in, because it's just more and more and more that are happening. And oh shit. Hold on. Pause. Very important message that I got. I promise y'all. Hold on. Just hold on. Just talks amongst yourselves. I would not pause this show if I didn't think it was important. Da 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 da. Yeah. Hold on one second, guys. Hold on one second. This is good. This is, hey, you know what? All right. Hold on. I would not pause the show if I didn't think this was important. All right, hold on. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. We're back. Listen, I ain't pausing the show and stopping what I'm doing in my tracks if I didn't feel like couldn't wait. So I'm working on some things, y'all. All I can tell you is I'm working on some things. Hopefully, I can't tell you. What the hell? You remember, like, hey, let me think of something that's non-Texas. Shit, I don't want to even think of anything now. It's important. It's important. And so sometimes some things are important that I just need to handle. And I think there's another thing, as you know, I emphasize obviously that this is where we're at here. I think something, you guys also remember, like all these guys are going in the portal, right? And I made my Kyle Flood joke, which, man, some of these guys behind the scenes are going to, man, they're going to catch me behind an alley or something like that one day. But you look at, there's been hits that have taken place at a lot of positions, the running backs, the tight ends, the offensive line. But I would tell you this, and some of this I want to save for some of it war room. I'll give you a little bit behind the scenes. When you start looking at the trade offs that's been made, if you start looking at, if you look at it simplistically and say, we traded Wisner, Jarrett Gibson, CJ Baxter, Ricky Stewart, and Christian Clark for Raleek Brown and Hollywood Smothers, you're probably going to view that as a win. If you said you traded Parker Livingston, DeAndre Moore, Aaron Butler, and Jamie French for Cam Coleman, that as a win, right? If you say, hey, we traded Jordan Washington for Michael, how do you say his last name, Cody? Masunas? That's probably going to be a win. Now, we're losing in the offensive line category. Whoa, that's an L. But if I told you traded Leona LaFarns for Rasheem Biles and Justin Cryer, you probably say that's a win at this moment, right? You can't say you lost at DB. And if you look at kickers are kickers. It's probably, even at that point, right? So at that, what are you selling yourself? You're saying at the end of the day, that's some wins that have probably occurred, right? So now where we're at is it's really about the offensive line. And just so we're clear, I think it's really important for you guys to know that, the deadline to enter, just remember this, the deadline to enter the portal is on the 16th, okay? That's this upcoming Friday. But just remember that they don't have to be signed to their school or the school by the 16th, right? You can go after that. Again, I can't remember old boy's name. I don't know why I can't remember the running back. I cannot remember for the life of me, and I should. I can't remember that running back who entered his name into the portal, and then Texas signed him during training camp after injuries happened. CJ Baxter, someone else, and I keep mentioning him as an example, and I keep forgetting old boy's name, but he entered his name in the portal. What was that guy's name? Hold on 1 second, guys. All right, hold on. Okay, gotcha. I'm multitasking. I'm a reporter who does a show, not a guy who does a show and does reporting every once in a while. If I had a co-host, which would require me to, I guess, get along with people enough, then maybe I can have a show. No, actually, I think Alex and Cody are a better duo than Alex and I were. So it's not about that. I am getting older and more honorary, but that being said, we'll do my self-reflection at another point. And so now we're kind of in that holding pattern, y'all. And I thought, let me show you what Alex put up here. Okay, listen. If you're not, you guys should be on Orange Bloods. It's $10 a month. It's literally less than one takeout for lunch. I think you guys know, like I love Jersey Mike's, right? That's kind of my guilty pleasure. I'm gonna have to give it up at some point, right? But it's like my lunch is like $16. And for $10 a month, you too can help a starving orange who needs your help. Let me show you what Alex put together. The one thing I love that Alex does is that he does a depth chart, which is really badass. I got to take y'all off the screen though, because y'all really got to see this. And let me share what Alex has written. And I'm here at the bottom. And this is Alex's depth chart as it stands right now, from the offensive standpoint. And I love the projections here. You've got Gooseby, here, but now we're kind of getting into that. Okay, you got Chapman there, who you potentially you can bounce on the inside. You got Connor Robertson. That's fine. Sikorsky, where I don't think I think I read Cody. Cody Carpentier did an analysis on him. I don't think Cody was super high on Sikorsky, if I remember correctly. Cody, you could correct me if I was wrong. I thought you just thought like he was just okay, but Texas could really use some influx of talent there. And then Brandon Baker there. Now, it becomes really interesting because if Texas is able to get, let's say, like a Jordan Seaton and maybe put him on the right side, which I believe would make the most sense in the world. I don't really necessarily want to move Trevor Gooseby out of his left tackle spot, but I would like to maybe put him, I would like to keep him there. If you get a guy like Seaton, I like him to be put at the right tackle spot. I think I'll just give you credit where credit is due. I think Cody and even Alex have pointed out there's been a ton of right tackles who've been first round picks, so there's nothing to sleep on. It's not right tackle is not that position now where it's just like you put your sorry guys over there, right? There's something to be said for that. So if you're able to put him on the right side and then you can bounce Brandon Baker on the inside, then all of a sudden you're going to be you'll feel like a little bit better about it. You've got the Masunis there at the tight end thing. And this is where, shoot. It's funny, like, at the end of the day, this goes back to the Parker Livingston conversation real quick. Will Randall's still on this roster? That's Arch's guy. Like, so clearly, they're okay with having guys around if Arch wants them there. So there is that, right? But you get a guy who's basically an all-conference player at another program like that. That looks good there, right? And you still got some depth there because, of course, it's another guy that's going to punch me in the throat one day. But Jeff Banks, Jeff Banks he's going to offer a gunner somewhere. He's like, hey, Sark, this is gunner, man. He's probably like, the joke is old. All right, Jeff. I don't know. I'll think of something else. But, Jeff Banks, he's going to offer everybody. To Jeff's credit, all jokes aside, Texas needed a long snapper. Texas needed a punter. Texas needed a kicker. And I'm okay if they never get him out the high school ranks again. So, Jeff, as much as I love to joke with you and play, I 100 understand what you've done, and you did get your tight end. So it's props to you on that, Jeff. So don't come at me. You've got Coleman on one side, you got Wingo on the other, you've got Mosley in the slot. Look, I can't tell you that I know every potential starting three on every program in the SEC or in the country. Like I can't say I'm that dialed in. It's one of the reasons why I don't vote for like all conference stuff because I feel like it's disingenuous unless you really study every single program. Like I don't think you should be voting all conference if you can't tell me like the starting offensive line at Auburn or Tennessee, and if you only know a player here and there. So I just don't participate in those things because I'm willing to admit what I don't know. So in any case, I can't tell you that I know what every guy, what every team has from a receiving standpoint. but I know this one's pretty damn good. I don't know what everybody else is, but I know this one is pretty damn good. And look, if they can hold on to the rest of these guys and not have like a Dale McCutcheon go into the portal or anything like that, if they can hold on to the rest of these guys, then you're good. And then look, man, from your starting running back position, you feel better about that three, honestly, than you did the three that you had this past season. And look, I think we all like Christian Clark. I think we all think he's got a lot of potential, but it's kind of like if he wants to get paid off of one game, again, you are the GM. I put you in charge of these things. You are the GM. Do you give a guy a significant pay bump off of one game? Or again, do you take some of this dead money that you have, and then do you say to yourself, snap, we have some dead money here, but if we could take this guy's 500 and this guy's 600 and this guy's 700 and this guy's 800 and now we got 2 million, why don't we take that and get just a badass Coleman and call Cam Coleman, call it a day, right? I mean, I get it, right? And so I think you guys get it too. I'm not saying that's what Cam got, but whatever that number eventually looks like, if you take some of that dead money and let it go, then you're there. I'm always of the belief that the best dead money you can have on a roster is going to be at the quarterback position. That's the one position you just got to chalk it up. That's the one position that you don't go to the guys after a year and say, we need you to renegotiate. That's the one position that you say to KJ Lacey, what you got paid previously is fine. That stays. Diabell, whatever you're going to get coming in, you get to keep that after another year or two as well, right? That's the only one you got to say, listen, there's only 3 of those guys. And we've got to make sure those guys are there. But I think also, or stay here, I think if you can look at the offensive line thing, there's a definite need. There's a definite need for there. Now, I can tell you this. My phone has been interesting so far, but I can now I'm gonna put you guys back on the screen. And I hope that if there was a super chat there, let me know. The sense I'm getting from behind the scenes is that they feel, without giving me specifics, there's a sense that, hey, when it comes to the offensive line, I was talking to someone recently this morning, and before this, good interruption, by the way. Good interruption, by the way. So I tell you, y'all never know who's watching the show. Y'all think Unc is just out here just silly, I'm working. Y'all never know who's watching. There's a sense behind the scenes that from an offensive line perspective, they're going to be okay. And I said, well, what does okay look like? And they're like, we're going to be okay. I was like, well, okay. That's vague. Because we've had previous conversations, and it was like a week or so ago, and I was like, hey, are you guys going to be okay? And they told me, like, they're going to be okay. But okay resulted in, like, Cam Coleman coming and Brown and Raleek and all these things, the linebackers, right? So I'm like, are we talking that kind of okay? Or are we talking about, like, just okay? And I just was told, we're going to be okay. I don't know what the hell that meant. I'm going to be honest with you. I wish I could decode it. I wish I could tell you what I feel like it means. All I can tell you is that the message that I have received continuously last night, this morning, last week, a couple of weeks ago, y'all just need to have faith in Sark that eventually it's all going to come together. That's what I keep getting told. That's what I just keep getting told. That just keeps getting hammered and hammered and hammered with me. It's what, hey, it's going to be okay. And I'm like, and guess what? I usually freak out like y'all. And guess what? Then but I explained it to someone because they was like, "Why do you guys freak out so much?" I was talking to someone. They were like, "Why do you guys freak out so much?" And I was like, "Well, you got to understand that and this is a different era than it was 10, 15. Remember when you was in high school many moons ago for some of you, but you guys remember that whether you played high school sports or you followed it many 10, 15 years ago, but what happened? There would be a local who was a high school reporter, young guy, might be might be smashing debonair young man who didn't have glasses and didn't have a police officer's mustache, and he was just a young cub reporter in Tampa. And that person would come out, interview your star athlete that you spend. You would have like people would come and cover the game on Friday. You would get the newspaper on Saturday. You would see like the little clip of your school, and and then you would tell like the star athlete, right? And if God forbid, if they had a picture of that athlete, it's like wow, and that's it. And I was like, but you got to understand, like we are in a time where UT's got probably more people covering this team than most markets do. I'm talking about whether you've got Orange Bloods or on Texas football or 24/7 or what's it called? Like Hook'em Horns, and where's the one that Terry Middleton works for, and Westcott has Burnt Orange, right? And so like there's just so much. There's so much. And then you got YouTube channels that are doing shows every day. I know, so you got all that. Inside Texas, excuse me. I'm sorry. I can't believe I forgot that. Don't get mad. Inside Texas as well. Justin Wells, who's there. Don't feel like I let you guys out. Everybody does a fantastic job over there. So anyways, because sometimes people get pissed at me from Inside Texas, and I don't try to do anything intentionally, but they do think I do things intentionally. And I don't. And then there's always this beef for no. Please no, it was accidental. Please, Jesus. In any case, so many people cover this team, right? And so I was like, so in the moment, like what you want as far as patient is hard to achieve when it's just constant coverage. Are you guys saying my mic is cutting out? Or maybe I just need to be a little bit closer. All right. I mean, it's probably just because I'm far away is all it is. It's constant coverage of the team. I brought my mic it wasn't working, so I'm using my laptop. It's okay. I'm at 30 minutes. I need to cut it short anyway, so we need to get some things done. And so it's hard to think big picture. But that being said, I hate looking like this because I'm way too close to the screen, so I'm going to cover it like this. Telling us, and what they're telling me is, hey, at the end of the day, just be more patient. Just be more understanding and know that we're going to get it done. The same way we usually get it done in recruiting, it's the same way we're going to get it done in the transfer portal. And just got that. So with that, we'll absolutely do it. All right, since my mic sucks and we're at 30 minutes, now's the time for me to get back on the phone, see what the hell is going on. Y'all take care. I don't think I'll be back for the noon show, but I'll be back at the crib, and I'll be ready for you guys. All right. It's a lot going on. Kyle Flood, whatever it is that you need to do, don't get mad, Kyle. Whatever it is, Kyle, I don't know what it is. Better cologne that you need to wear into the office, Kyle. You need better cologne. I don't know. Kyle, Coach Flood, make sure breath is fresh. I just want to make sure you ain't doing anything to get anybody upset. Check the pits. And then make sure you hold on to what you have and bring some new guys in. So by this time on Monday, we're having a totally different conversation. Remember, I always say, live each day like it's your last, because one day will be go out and have a fantastic day. Do something nice and special for yourself, because you absolutely deserve. I was going to want to beat my ass first, Flood or Banks. I don't know. I'm going to